Hello everyone and welcome to the Transit Nomad family. Unique transit experience in Budapest, riding vintage trams. Before we get started, I'd like to let you know that I'm in Budapest for a few weeks, and at the end of this trip, I'll be recording my final verdict video comparing Budapest with other cities to help you decide if you should visit, while also saving you lots of time and money with practical tips on how to get the most out of your trip. This will be an exclusive video, but you can easily gain access to it by subscribing or donating any amount on buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad or through the link in the video description below. With that being said, let's take a look at this awesome vintage tram. It was built in the 1970s, I believe, and it's still servicing city streets of Budapest in regular service, meaning you don't have to look for a specific date where they have a heritage event or vintage transit event for people who appreciate history or transit enthusiasts. You can catch one of these trams on almost any day. It's operating on line 47 and 49. They also have some other lines where you can catch these trams, but basically it's fairly easy to do so, and it gives you an amazing experience if you're interested in history and public transportation, or generally just want to have a scenic transit ride that feels special. This is the way to do it. This line 47 and 49, if you started in the city center, it's going to take you through some of the historic parts and also across the beautiful green bridge with amazing views of the river and the city banks. I really recommend it as a way to see Budapest if you're tired of walking around. Riding these tram lines is an amazing experience, and that's what we are about to do right now. We're just gonna cross the street and board one of these trams and see what it has to offer. I really love the fact that you don't have to do too much planning or research to catch these trams. I appreciate the people who keep these trams running even though they are so old. I think they add so much charm to the city, and as a vintage transit lover, this is one of the main reasons why I decided to come back to Budapest, because I want to enjoy these trams more and more, as well as some of the other historic transit vehicles they have in this city, such as some of the older Tatra trams and Icarus trolley buses and other unique transit like old school trains, the children's railway and the funicular and all of that. For transit lovers, Budapest is basically a paradise. It's hard to imagine something better, and I highly recommend it. I spent a few days when I came here for the first time, and it was not enough, so that's why I decided to come back. And this time I'm staying for the whole month, basically because of their public transportation and how much fun it is to explore. This seems like a perfect spot for me. Let's take a look around the tram while we are waiting. Trying to see if there's any particular spot that is better for filming. This seems like a cool spot, actually. You can see a lot of photos displayed on this tram, showing you some of the history, and they definitely take pride. And I believe in this case, they have every right to be proud of this service. digital signs was estimated tram arrival times. And by looking at these signs, you can see their frequencies are very high. Basically, you don't have to wait more than just a few minutes for your route to arrive, which is very convenient, very efficient. This is exactly what attracts people to using public transportation. High frequencies, I believe it's one of the main things that can be done to make it more attractive to potential riders. And also, of course, signal priority and having separated lanes for public transportation, that also makes a difference so that trams don't get stuck in traffic together with cars. They did a great job with this in Budapest, and oftentimes taking the tram is actually faster than driving. Boarding on both sides, so depending on the stop, how it's designed, sometimes people board on the right, sometimes on the left. It's so much fun. This is one of the most scenic parts of the route, crossing this bridge that we're about to go on. It's very impressive. It's really nice that they let you open the windows right here and you can just enjoy the view, especially on a beautiful day like today. One thing to note is that even though we are riding a vintage tram right now, they have additional vintage transit vehicles operating on specific dates. You can find the schedule on their website, BKK website, which is their transit operator. You can catch more vintage trams and buses that are no longer in regular city service on specific dates, usually during weekends. Lots of beautiful buildings. No matter which part of the city you go to, you can always find something cool to look at. While we are waiting here, I would like to remind you that as an active traveler and business owner with experience, I might be able to assist you with trip planning, life coaching, and business consulting, with all the details available at buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad or through the link in the video description below. And of course, that is also where you can find lots of exclusive content on many different cities around the world, my secret tips, PDF guides, and the option to request a custom video on any topic that matters to you. As you can see, the city has a very extensive public transportation network, many tram lines. Some of the busiest lines in the world actually are here in Budapest, and some of the best and most frequent service here as well. Seems like a cool angle, something new. Also, the world's oldest, continental Europe's oldest metro line is also here in Budapest. It was built in the late 19th century. I'm going to be filming it separately. Feel free to take a look at the channel to find that video, as well as many other unique transit vehicles that are operating in the city. You can find that on my channel. Love that speed. I think we were going maybe around 60 kilometers per hour, maybe a little bit, give or take, maybe a little bit faster even during some moments. Now that we are outside of the city center, you can also see different kinds of architecture they have throughout the city. Interesting. You can close one window and then open another one. That's good to know for future videos. You can also see they have schedules available at transit stops, which is very helpful.
Városház-tér felé. Vodafone kocsi szín.
see what the city looks like outside of the city. Fairly typical for Eastern Europe, parts of Central Europe.
A következő megálló Savoy Egyenlőtér. Az ajtók a bal oldalon nyílnak. Savoy Egyenlőtér.
Stop. I'm very impressed with that speed. We actually, I don't know exactly how long this specific line is, but it's not too short, but because of the high speed, and we didn't wait too long at the intersections, because of the high speed, we were able to accomplish this in this specific ride in less than 30 minutes. In some other cities, I'm pretty sure it could have taken a lot longer, maybe even double. So huge gratitude and respect to the city management of Budapest and all the people who are passionate about public transportation and making it so quick, convenient, easy to use, easy to navigate, affordable, reliable, predictable, and fun, because this transit vehicle is definitely fun. A lot of cities, they are trying to get rid of old trams as quickly as possible and replace them with newer ones, even though their service is not as good. It's mediocre, like high frequencies or poor connections and high prices, and still they are willing to spend lots of money on new trams. Whereas in Budapest, they have a lot of new trams, don't get me wrong, but they still have these old ones, and this is a great way to get around. A lot of people don't want to wait too long, so if they have more trams, it means higher frequencies and better service for everyone. People can reach their destinations faster, but also this adds a very special historical factor, something special, something unique, something magical, something that a lot of people appreciate. I'm not the only one who is enjoying these trams. So thank you again for this opportunity. I'm very grateful. And I appreciate everyone who is a part of the Transit Nomad family watching this video. If you have a chance, feel free to leave a comment or subscribe or like, and stay tuned for future videos. I'm going to be filming a lot of videos in Budapest. And don't forget that as an active traveler and business owner with experience, I might be able to assist you with trip planning, life coaching, and business consulting, with all the details available at buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad. This is where you can also find lots of exclusive content on many different cities around the world, my secret tips, PDF guides, and the option to request a custom video on any topic that matters to you. Thank you everyone for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.